Hey guys, Metagross Freak here. Welcome back to the bridge. Last time we left off, we completed, I guess you could call it World or Chapter One. Chapter One, and we did the Vortex, which was which introduced the Vortex in 2.1. So now we're going on to 2.2, the Precipice. I'm currently on Chapter 4. But Chapter 3, like later parts of Chapter 3 and early parts of Chapter 4 get kind of hard, so I apologize if in later videos it takes me like 20 minutes just to solve one puzzle, because some of these I've actually had to look up. Alright, now this is actually an interesting vortex, because most vortexes you can either turn off with a button or they just stay active on all the time. This one, however, turns itself off. And so obviously you have to get to that key over there and get back to unlock this door, which really kind of makes you wonder then, well, how am I going to do that? And then you realize, oh wait, this thing turns itself off, so I just have to be patient, right? You know, I'll be honest, I really don't get this level. I think this probably would have been better. I really don't get why this level exists as much, just because this level is so easy. The only thing you really need is the patience to not get eaten by the wormhole here, and then like not die right away. I guess it's because you have to not die there, but because you slide off this platform fairly easily, so I don't know what's up with this. But if you do a really tight angle, you can like slide basically back to where your spawn point is, and you can finish it really easily. I really don't get that one. This next level, the Lion 2-3, is one of my favorites, though. At least visually. It took me quite a bit of time to figure out how this one works, but it has kind of an interesting solution once you figure it out. So here we have a Menace attached to a chain, and it's stuck in a vortex. And there's a button to turn off the vortex, which apparently I can't climb because I'm at a too steep of an angle somehow. But yeah, that's literally it. Though this has a cool puzzle and it's really simple. You literally just have to turn counterclockwise, and like you can just spin the ball. You just spin yourself around because you're trapped in the vortex. You're perfectly safe from gravity. The ball comes around because the ball apparently is unaffected by gravity. And you solve this puzzle with like super duper ease, because you can just walk. Like it's yeah, that was it. These early level puzzles are hilariously easy. I think the pillars, though, gets a little bit more difficult. I don't really remember which one the pillars is. Oh, okay. You know, I really enjoyed the pillars. This one kind of reminds me of the spiral, if you remember, with those two keys. The pillars is kind of like that, except just a little bit more difficult. I'll give you an opportunity to check out this map. So obviously you have a key and a vortex and a button to turn off the vortex. I don't remember exactly how to do this one right from the get-go, but that's okay, because I believe you just have to basically just toss the key over to the vortex and turn it off to drop it to you, if I remember correctly, because the key is actually too heavy. Actually, the key is not heavy enough, sorry, to hold down the button. It's kind of a weird puzzle. Not really a favorite of mine, just because it's kind of bizarre. Oh, I meant to do that a different way. Hold on. I meant to go clockwise here. Let me do this? Yeah, it's letting me do it. Whee! And yeah, that's the puzzle. Basically, you just have to circumnavigate your way around, and the key basically comes straight to you. And now you just have to figure out, well, how the hell am I going to get to this door? Oh yeah, I can just walk this way. So it's not the most difficult puzzle, but it has an interesting design. I mean, the thing is, it took me like 5 minutes to figure it out before the first time I did it, but it's still kind of fun, especially if you're not familiar yet with the mechanics of turning. Next up is 2-5. It's 2-5, the Mausoleum. It'll be the last puzzle I do for this video, probably. And if it can be quite difficult if you're not too familiar yet with the Vortex and with the ball mechanic, especially if you're not very good at tilting. But it can be really cool. Obviously, you can't go left because the Menace is right here. This is one of the few opportunities that you can walk up straight to a Menace, and if you get close enough, you'll actually, if you have the sounds up, you'll actually hear it chuckle. So we just have to get our Menace there. Now, this part's actually pretty easy. It's later in the level that gets kind of tricky. And by later in the level, I mean like right now, because you have to make sure your Menace doesn't fall into that vortex. You want it to go chkunk right in there, into that like hoop. I'm just gonna call it a hoop. And now that the Menace is safe, which is kind of weird because you wouldn't ever think of your like antagonist, if you can even call him that, wanting to be safe, but I guess in this case you do. Now this part takes quite a bit of reaction time. You have to basically turn your stage fairly fast so you can dump yourself into where the Vortex is without falling into that side area where the Menace is. If you just rotate it around, counterclockwise like I did, you should be fine, but if you're a little slow with it, you'll end up falling into the same ring as the Menace, which will kind of screw you over. Yeah, this level isn't really too much of a challenge, but it has an interesting concept, and I just like the visual style of it. And when you get into this area, it zooms in, and you can see some body buried up just above us in the mausoleum. I'm not exactly sure what year that is, but I can read. I know that the two C's are 200. The two X's are 20, and then the VII is 7. So something 227. Also, idle animation. If he's idle for like a minute or two, he'll check his pocket watch. I'm not sure what the MD is, so let's check that out. So MD, CC, XX, VII. Let's Safari it, shall we? MD, CC, XX, VII. Yeah, that would be that is what we're looking for. 1727. Oh, I know what happened in 1727. He lied. This is obviously going off like what's important, but let's see. I'm sure it has something to do with Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is referenced many times in this, so I'm going to end the video and I'm going to find out what exactly happened in 1727 so I can tell you, because based on the fact that it's a mausoleum probably means that someone died in 1772. So next level is the memorial, and so at the very beginning of the level I'll tell you what happened in 1727, and then we'll do the memorial. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Menace Freak, and keep puzzling.